That's it, we are releasing fragrance number 2 for the brand Atrium fragrance. Our first release, Mr. Fragrant, was our versatile offering. Second now is going to be Mr. Romantic, which is our date night offering. This fragrance is due to come out either in April or May. We're in the process of finalizing the packaging. It's going to be a similar bottle to Mr. Fragrant, being a black bottle with the white writing Mr. Romantic. I wanted to change the color of the packaging, guys, but unfortunately it's actually very difficult. So I think just this, our first set of releases, our first 5 fragrances are just going to be probably all just going to be black, I think. But yeah, it's a classy and safe design. Anyways, let's talk about what actually this fragrance is all about. What is our brand all about in general? We take general known concepts in fragrances in the niche and we flip them on their heads. So Mr. Fragrant was the blue fragrance DNA flipped on his head, made it a little more green and woody. Now Mr. Romantic is the romantic cardamom and amber combination you'll see often in fragrances like Dolce & Gabbana, the one Eau de Parfum, La Nuit de l'Homme. You can see it in Dior Homme Intense, Tom Ford Noir Extreme. We take that and then we're going to flip it on its head by adding a lot of white florals. Very strange, it's a very different kind of fragrance. I'm very excited about this fragrance because it's so weird, but at the same time, it's one of the sexiest things you will ever smell. And it's difficult for me to just say that to you guys without you smelling it, which you will be able to. Now, it is a very interesting fragrance. This is a fragrance made by Firmenich, so it's not like our first release where Mr. Fragrant was made by John Stephen. This is a very different style of perfumery. It's a different perfumer, but it still follows the same core tenets of the brand. Every release needs to be a 10 out of 10 based on our criteria. The fragrance is natural and extremely well blended, extremely smooth. Performance of at least 8 hours. I get 8 hours longevity with a soft to moderate projection. And more of an intimate fragrance that on the first day wearing this, I got a compliment wearing it 6 hours in. So it's definitely got lasting power. The wearability has to be great value for money. So this fragrance, how it differs from most warm, sweet fragrances is that it can be worn 3 out of 4 seasons. I think this can be worn all year round. 3 out of 4 seasons plus summer evenings, I think, is the most appropriate time to wear this, giving you the best value for money. You got this date night fragrance for the rest of your life, like all year round. And then, of course, you need to feel like the value is incredible value for money, which you can only decide once you get a sample of the fragrance. The note breakdown of the fragrance is as follows. The top notes are Labdanum, Chamomile, and Cardamom. Mid notes of Lavender, Amber, and Neroli. And then the base, we're gonna have White Sandalwood, Musk, and Tahitian Vanilla. This is a fragrance that took many iterations to get right. We went through a lot of different fragrance DNAs with Firmenich, and when this fragrance was presented to me, I just read the note breakdown first before I smelled it, and I thought having chamomile in a men's fragrance is kind of strange. We wanted to do a flip on the cardamom romantic amber-based DNA, but I thought I never saw chamomile. I always just associate chamomile with what you drink in a tea bag. But actually, I was very shocked, and I think you should definitely give it a chance. If you are interested in a white floral DNA for men, I think we have created, honestly, the best smelling, most sexy and seductive white floral DNA out there. And that I can't really think of any that would smell better than this, honestly. I am extremely proud of how creative this is, but at the same time, still very easy to love. I think this is even easier and more mass appealing than Mr. Fragrant, honestly. It is, like, I love Mr. Fragrant, don't get me wrong, but I think Mr. Fragrant is very intense when you smell up close to the skin. People just think it's a green fragrance. I think it's very blue as well when it's out in the air in the sillage. So I think it can be more challenging smelling it up close, but this is very easy to smell up close as well as in the air. I love both fragrances regardless. This is a very different style, but how I would describe Mr. Romantic is, it is very powdery, soft, transparent, sweet, seductive, warm, inviting, very fresh in the opening. You'll think it's just very, very fresh and invigorating, which is perfect for a date. You're meeting her, you're meeting them, and you're giving them a hug, giving them a kiss on the cheek. You're not trying to be extremely seductive straight away. You're building up the occasion, and it becomes more warm, seductive, more heavy on the vanilla as it dries down. But the vanilla never becomes too cloying like a lot of other vanilla fragrances do on the market. This is beautifully balanced, and I really do think this is one of the best balanced date night fragrances ever made. I've got a little atomizer here. This is not the final packaging at all, guys. This is not the final packaging. It's just some of the compound I have to carry around as a travel atomizer. Let me spray it on here to get the opening. Very high quality, smooth, natural. It's like if White Florals, Cardamom, warm, sexy Cardamom, and Sandalwood, a clean Sandalwood, like some of the sexiest fragrances out there, were blended together and then mixed with vanilla ice cream, but made fresh. It's like fresh vanilla ice cream. Oh my, it's so sexy. Mixed with White Florals, Sandalwoods, and Cardamom. This is the kind of fragrance you're gonna get here. For guys who love fragrances like the one Eau de Parfum or La Nuit de l'Homme, this doesn't smell like anything like it, but if you love that kind of those kind of fragrances, they're fairly balanced fragrances that are for date nights. Again, they do not smell alike. I just think people who love those kind of fragrances are really, really gonna love this. I'm so happy with this release. This might be one of our most well-received fragrances ever. I genuinely think that, and you guys are gonna need to believe me when you get a sample. So this is how it's gonna work, guys. This is our second release. I've learned a lot from our first release with Mr. Fragrance. It's very difficult getting the brand started and on track. I've learned many lessons. What we're gonna do this time is that we're actually going to, first of all, release the fragrance as a sample first. Everyone who has bought a full bottle of Mr. Fragrance will get a free sample of Mr. Romantic sent to them. So you can try the fragrance first before anyone else, and you get to see if you want to buy a full bottle of it. I think likely you will. This is special. I'm very happy about this. This is a very good fragrance. And yeah, and then after that, everyone who has bought a sample of Mr. Fragrance, they will get first dibs of buying a fragrance sample of Mr. Fragrance. So you don't get it for free, but you get to get first dibs before anyone else. I think I'm gonna go for at least a week beforehand. I'm figuring this stuff out as I'm going along, guys, all right? So bear with me. And after that, then, we're going to then release a sample a few weeks before the full bottle becomes available. So everyone gets to try the sample. You get you know, some hype going, see if you like it, and then you can buy the full bottle. And anyone who buys a sample, they can use the cost of the sample as credit towards a full purchase, and they get free shipping of the full purchase if they go from sample to the full bottle. So yeah, guys, I'll explain this all more when you buy the sample. The sample's gonna be £7 with delivery included, express shipping included. Now, do I think this fragrance is sexy? Absolutely. However, I think it would be more interesting if I actually put it to the test. I know it's Valentine's Day by the time you're watching this. It should be anyways if we did everything right. And I think that we need to take some of the best date night fragrance DNAs out there and see if this compares. Let's watch some public reactions.